Hello, in case anyone comes in because this is going to be recorded. Welcome to Hilltop Homestead. I am practicing. This is like a practice live. So if you are seeing this, we're kind of working out the bugs here. I've never done a live before. So basically, these are going to go just like, I'm going to work on a quilt and talk to people and see what's going on. So let's see. Okay. Hello, welcome. This is my first live stream, so I'm trying to figure out how everything works. And let's see. If you guys can hear me, can somebody say something? Because I can't see anything on my screen. Just type hello or whatever. There we go. Thank you. Thank you so much. So it's popping up on the bottom. This is my first live stream. Welcome, welcome. All I'm doing is working on a Valentine's Day quilt tonight. So that's, we're kind of just here hanging out, sewing. I'm making a Valentine's Day rag quilt. So, because like my channel is just basically all rag quilts. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I do have a dog in here with me too, so we might hear some like stirring from that, just so you know. But yeah, we're going to try, I'm going to see how loud it is with the sewing machine, because then I can like adjust some things as needed. So we're just going to give this a quick test run. Let me know if it's too loud. How was that? Was it okay? Hopefully it was. I'm also going to try not to talk over sewing, because I feel like that would get annoying too. Perfect. So, why don't I show you guys some of the fabric I'm using here. This is well, first of all, these are put together with flannel on the back, and then I have warm and natural batting in the middle, and I have just regular cotton quilting fabric on top. And what I'm doing is quilting an X through these squares. They're 6-inch squares. The batting is 5 inches. You can kind of see through it here. But this is like a really cute polka dot. It's got lint all over it, sorry. Polka dot and heart print. And then we have light pink with white polka dots. My lighting's not the best either. I do apologize for that. This was kind of a spur of the moment test thing. So we have this light pink with swirls, heart print, cute. We got a very light floral. This is light pink, although it looks kind of beige. I like to put a little bit of like color assortment in my quilts. This one's mostly pink, but I do have some light pink and red. And again, this looks brown. This is okay. That was just pink. This is cute. This is going to be a nice pop of color. It looks like watermelon seeds almost. And then I have this red with hearts. Super cute. Let me turn the sewing machine off and see if that helps. Oh, way better. Yep, the sewing machine was the problem. Okay, red. We have white with really pretty hearts. And then we have, this one's pretty. Florals, heart prints. Super cute. And this one's my favorite. It's those little candies. So cute. More pretty hearts. And last one, very pretty. I do. I love the florals too, and I love this one because of the metallic and the pink. I think that's just really cute. Lots of cute stuff. All right, we're gonna get back to sewing now that I have everything all jumbled up and confused. That makes sense, right? Okay. Try this again. Audio quality's good. Oh, she's spicy when you first turn her on. Okay. And then the scissors button. Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, that works amazing. Thank you. I used that before, but like in my mind, I'm like, that's just something else to break, so I'm like afraid to use it every time. But, you know, might as well use it if it's there, right? What does the fix button do, Tana, if you're still watching? Let me bring it in a little closer. That lights up. I know it like keeps the stitch, like it doesn't move the stitch, it's just kind of like, but like what's the purpose of that? Because I turn it off sometimes. It just, I think it's like 4 or 5 stitches and then it'll go. Booyah. So while we're sitting here and just, you know, sewing, does anybody have any questions, or anybody want to talk about like what projects you're currently working on, or like plans you got coming up for projects? I'm very curious if you sew or if you crochet or knit or whatever. I have this Valentine's Day quilt, and then I'm doing a test quilt because I'm going to be making a t-shirt rag quilt, and I'm doing like a 4 square test, and it's going to be I'm cutting out 14-inch squares and then 13-inch for the batting. So I'm essentially going to be using this. I'm going to be putting on the free motion quilting foot, I think is what it's called, and then just kind of doing some swirls around the lettering because, you know, for a t-shirt quilt you need, you know, you have t-shirt logos and stuff. So I'm going to give that a go and see how that washes and everything, and then if I like that, I'm going to be using that for a t-shirt quilt that I'll be making. I just didn't want to like practice on the actual t-shirts, you know, like I wanted to I wanted to get practice with my own stuff before I used the customer's stuff. Okay, give me just a second because I'm going to see if I can bring up messages because I only see it for like a second and then it disappears. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Like I said, this is my first live stream, so I'm working out the kinks and everything here. And I plan on doing more of these in the daytime so I have better lighting. Ooh, crochet, that sounds so fun. Yeah, it does. It takes motivation. It takes motivation for me to do this. Like, I'll have all these squares cut. Let me just give you a quick little tour of my desk here. I have all the squares cut and like ready, but they'll sit here for a day or two before I actually get everything quilted and start putting things together just because sometimes it's hard just to get motivated. Oop, that one's done. Grabbed from the wrong pile. Okay. Also, I'm going to be editing a video later, so if any of you guys are subscribed to my channel, keep an eye out for that because I'll be posting it either tonight or tomorrow morning. Oop. Oh, are we out of thread? Yes, we are. Completely out. So give me just a second. I need to fix that. Also, I wanted to show you something super quick. This is a jar that I've been holding on to. I started filling this up in like October, but I'm just keeping all of my empty bobbins in this jar. I don't know what for, but it's like halfway full. I go through a lot of thread, so I don't know if you can recycle those or what, but I'm just gonna kind of hang on to them as like a little like reminder of all the work that I do. Okay, and I'm using Sewology thread. This is Hobby Lobby's like 99-cent cotton thread, and it works pretty well. I don't think I've ever had breakage, or if I did, it's because there was some kind of malfunction with something. But this stuff works really nice. Oh, that's awesome! Rag quilt for Christmas. That's so cool. Awesome. All right. Sorry, I gotta scooch over a little bit so I can reach the needle here. Okay. Oh, yeah, awesome. All right. Got some stuff to fix here real quick. I'm just gonna snip this off to make life a little easier here. What size of rag quilt did you make for your brother for Christmas? Like, did you do a throw or did you do like a bigger one, or? I'm just curious. Okay. Yeah, so this is what happens when all the thread runs out and it gets a little wonky. That's okay. I'm probably just gonna cut this and then just stitch over it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because everything is, there we go. Perfect. Now also, quick question for anybody listening. Can you hear somebody else like talking in the distance at all? My husband's in the living room doing stuff, so I'm just wondering if that's, like, if you can even hear that, or if you just hear me a little bit. Okay. That'll be something that will change in the future. He's playing video games with his friends, so I'm just gonna, next time we'll do, you know, when I don't have that going on in the background. Oh. Okay. Okay, good. I just didn't want it to be like super loud because sometimes it is. But this is probably the most boring part of making these quilts, is doing the repetitive X's, even though it's pretty quick. Like if I were to sit down and just like sew through everything, like I could get this done quickly. Yes, I have seen a lot of people use jeans. A lot of people talk about using old jeans or old, you know, denim jackets or whatever for rag quilts. And I've seen them too. They're just, you know, it's going to be very heavy, but it will fringe really nice. Like denim, if you can get denim to fray on the edges, it'll have like a very plush fringe. And you could do denim on the front and then something else on the back if you wanted to. Or you could do all denim. I mean, that'd be like a weighted blanket for sure, but it'd still be really cool. Okay. My plan for future live streams is to, because like right now I have my phone. I'm just using my phone and a small tripod thing that's just sitting here on my desk. But I'd like to use my taller tripod and like project the screen onto my computer so that it's like easier for me to see everything. And then also that would give you guys like the full range of my desk where I have all of my other stuff, because I'm not really sure, I can't really do anything with this other than just like turn it, like that's all we got, and I can't really bring it back any further. So, but this is again first live stream, just kind of getting the hang of how this works, setting stuff up. So that's what we'll be doing here. It's also great to talk to everybody and meet people. So that's fun. I'd like to do one. Would batting make it too thick or heavy? Oops, sorry. Just gotta hang on a second because my words are all disappearing. This is my first live. Let's see. Okay. Batting, I mean, you could put flannel in the middle instead of batting. If you're talking like doing a denim quilt, like are you asking if the batting would make it too thick for a denim quilt? Because, I mean, it's just kind of personal preference. That would make it like a little bit heavier, but you could do flannel in the middle and it would be a little lighter. Still, you know, still good blanket. Yeah. Yeah, you could do batting or you could do denim, or not denim, flannel. I don't know sewing, like, and that also depends on if you're doing front and back denim, because sewing through that plus batting might be a little bit too much for some sewing machines. So it kind of just depends. I don't think you would need batting, honestly. You could just put flannel or just do 2 layers of denim instead of 3 layers of stuff. And let's see. Yes, Melanie, that's the way to do it. Break it up. I normally work on 3 quilts at a time, and everybody's in a different stage. Right now, I'm working on my first quilt of the year because I took a break over Christmas, had a bunch of stuff going on. So I just have this one, and this is obviously where I'm at with this, but usually I'll have one where I'm like in the cutting stage, I have this in the quilting, and then I'll be like in the assembly stage with another one, because I feel like working start to finish on one quilt just leads to burnout so much faster than if you're jumping around doing other stuff. Keeps it interesting and it keeps you engaged and actually wanting to finish your projects so you don't end up with a bunch of whips, because I've been guilty of that too. But as far as like rag quilts, I actually tend to get those done. But I do sell my rag quilts, so you know there's like a good reward for finishing stuff. If you guys have any rag quilt related questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to try to answer. I'm not a pro, but you know, I've made a few of these, so. Sorry, I'm like focused. I quit talking. Trying to pay attention to what I'm doing here. But oh, that's fun. So a magic loop, is that like the loop knitting, like the rings with the pegs, or is that something else? Or did you say you were crocheting? Sorry, I missed it. No, you're knitting. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Sorry, the message only shows up for like a second and then disappears. But that's really cool. I actually watch a lot of like people who crochet and knit on YouTube whenever I'm working. I turn on just different YouTube videos and stuff. And I don't watch other people sew, but like because I don't crochet or knit a whole lot. I don't knit at all, but I crochet very sparsely. And I just, you know, it's interesting to watch other people make stuff. It's motivating too. hand stitching right now for journal ready. Oh yeah, get your measurements. Long set circuit. Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about now. I gotcha. That's really cool. Oh, that's so great. It's totally doable. I did, let's see, I did 19 quilts last year. Sorry, my dog's trying to scratch and make herself a little bed. Yeah, so I did 19 and I did it very much in my spare time. So I think 12 is definitely doable. And I feel like picking out the fabric. Come on, Jasmine, lay down. You gotta lay down. She's like, I'll take my time and do what I want. But yeah, it's that's the best part, is picking out your fabrics and like laying out your designs. And then you got to do all the work. That's the bummer part of it. I did not gift any rag quilts this year. I usually do give somebody one. Like the past 2 years, I've given away, I think, 2 or 3 during Christmas. But this year I just didn't because I had, yeah, the cutting's blah too. I agree. I did a bunch of homemade Christmas gifts. So I got into making like skincare stuff. And I have goats, so we have goat milk, and I made some goat milk hand cream, and then I made some beeswax chapstick from beeswax that I bought off of my neighbor, which is, you know, crazy local, so that was awesome. They both turned out really great. And then I worked up some crochet dish scrubbies, and I feel like I put something else, but I can't remember. Oh, we made deer jerky this year too, and we made like a bunch of it and packaged it up and gave it to everybody. I feel like handmade Christmas gifts are the best. No matter what you make, you know? I'm on the East Coast and it is almost 8 o'clock. Yeah, West Coast is back in time. I'm from the future here on the East Coast. Pricing is always fun to figure out. I'm actually going to be putting out a video talking about my pricing stuff. Honestly, right now, I'm running on special orders. I have this one I'm just making because I wanted to make a Valentine's one. But I have 3 special orders after this one. And like that's kind of what I wish I had a little more, like when I'm just making the ones like this, I have total control over what it's going to look like and what the theme's going to be and stuff. And, you know, I like to do special orders too, and I have a lot of creativity with that, but I just feel like I have a little bit more freedom when I'm just making them and selling them later. And I don't know if you have seen I have a video that talks about how I make money selling quilts, But like I only sell locally, so I'm posting on my own personal Facebook page. I'll just put up pictures of quilts that I'm working on, or if one's finished, and then, you know, people just reach out if they're interested. I want to make some crib quilts. I have all this cute fabric that's like definitely for nursery fabric. And, you know, I just keep buying stuff that's like jungle themed. I have Winnie the Pooh, and then I have like some Mickey Mouse stuff. But I just, you know, my orders just keep pushing back all my fun ideas. Also wanted to let you guys know here in about 15 minutes, I think, I'll be hopping off because I'm gonna go bake some chocolate chip cookies. I made cinnamon rolls earlier. It's just a day to bake, I guess, but I wanted to get them done before tomorrow. Yeah, batting makes it just like a little thicker, you know, it's got that like, it's just that quilt feeling. That's the best way to describe it. But I think doing flannel is faster for sure. I mean, if you're cutting everything the same size, it's easier just like boom, boom, boom. But I'm going to be making one that's all flannel sometime soon. Yeah, regular quilts are not my jam just because I've only ever made one. I've like pretended that I was going to put a quilt together and didn't get further than like 2 or 3 squares, but I did finish like a baby blanket. And that was hard, and that one was actually made out of all flannel. And it was just like a patchwork. Yeah, flannel, I got you. I know what you said. You're good. You're good. But yeah, regular quilting is just, I don't know. This is easy because you're literally just like you're quilting as you go, technically, and putting, you know, putting everything together in chunks. These are fun, and they allow you to be like a little bit, I don't want to say messy, but like it doesn't have to be perfect. Like it's not going to look bad if your squares don't line up precisely because the fringe hides stuff. If you do a solid color on the back, that blends everything together really nice. Because that was something with regular quilts. I was just like, it's so meticulous. And then most people have to take their quilts and get them long arm quilted by somebody unless you're doing it by hand. So that costs money on top of all the stuff you're putting into your quilt. Or if you have the capability, then it's like dealing with, I mean, you can quilt on like a domestic machine, but it's really hard. You have to kind of make like a little roller system to keep everything square and held together. So yeah, rag quilts are fun for sure. They're easy. They're fairly quick, like relatively quick, you know, for making a quilt. And they always turn out so cute. And you can do, I mean, there's just so many possibilities with how to assemble everything, the layers and everything you use. So it's nice. I'm gonna back it up a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Sorry. I'm just pulling the pins out. And my dog is snoring. I'm sure you'll hear that too. And there's the pink polka dots all finished. I only have 2 colors left, I think, to do. And then, yes, hand quilting is that's like a true labor of love, honestly, just because like it, I mean, it takes forever. I might do a live tomorrow also of like laying out this quilt, and then because I'm gonna film some of it for a video, but I think it'd be fun to like, you know, put the quilt together, like do the design layout and see what you guys think as we're doing it. It'd be like tomorrow evening, around the same time probably. Also with the rag quilt, like right here, this is a chunk of like where they put the design and manufacture and stuff that they print on the fabric, but with a rag quilt you don't have to worry about it because that's going to get trimmed off in the fringe. There's so many cute fabrics. Oh, goodness gracious. I keep poking myself because I'm grabbing these wrong. I'm not paying attention apparently. Does anybody use those quilting, what are they called? Are they quilting clips or something? They look like the itty bitty tiny like clothesline pin things, if you know what I'm talking about. So I have like, I bought a pack of 10 I think, but I actually use them for crochet markers instead of like actually, you know, sewing related. But I was thinking about getting some more of those. They're just very expensive. So I'm like, is it worth it to like, because, you know, all I'm doing is just vaguely holding these squares together. Or should I just keep using pins? Whoop, we're almost empty on our bobbin. This machine, it's a, you know, it's an electronic machine, so it's like incredibly sophisticated and fancy. But it'll tell me on my screen when my bobbin's getting empty. It's not quite empty because all the bobbins have this section. I have had to pin, oh yeah. It's easy to spend all that money on the fabrics. But anyways, this bobbin, yeah, it's got like a little thing here. So that like notifies the machine when the thread gets down because it starts winding on this small side and then it winds all the way around. Is it? This machine's just cool. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. See, I like to go, I used to be really bad about buying fabric before I actually started getting into like making a bunch of quilts, because now I have, which is, you know, it's a good thing because I have a stash of stuff that I can pull through. Very, you know, I have a lot of stuff. It's very organized now too because I did that earlier last year and I'm so glad I did. But anymore, I usually don't go to Joann's or Michael's unless I am looking for something specific for an order or I need like batting or backing because I have plenty of quilting fabric. But I'm just like, okay, so I've not bought anything this year. I bought something like at the very end of last year, just like some fabric, and of course it's fabric, but like some stuff for this quilt and then for that t-shirt quilt. But I haven't gone shopping or done anything yet, and I'm trying to get through at least February because I have all of the stuff I need for my quilts that I have coming up. And I feel like, you know, if I just stay out of the store, then I won't go spend a bunch of money. But it's really hard to not buy fabric. Because it's just fun to go like I'll just go and start pulling stuff that I like. I'll pull together like little palettes at the store of just like what, you know, if I'm doing Easter or something, I'd go and build a little color story in my cart, and then I'm like, oh, I need this. But I get everything in half yard increments, like the quilt top stuff, because it's like, you know, if it's on sale, you're only paying $3 or $4 for your little chunk of fabric, and you're like, oh, that's not bad, until you get, you know, 15 to 20 pieces. Then you're like, oh, whoops. I had somebody reach out to me a week ago, and they're wanting to order a tree skirt, which I've never made a tree skirt. And I was like, you know, are you looking for something like with the frayed, you know, the rag quilt look? Because, I mean, I'd be open for making something like that. Plus, you know, I have pretty much a whole year for a Christmas tree skirt. And they were kind of looking for just like a normal quilted thing. And I was like, well, I could also do that too, because it's going to be like a different shape or whatever. And I sent back a quote because I was like, well, if I make it kind of high, which I quoted them at like 120, which, you know, my time and everything's worth it since I'd be making something from scratch. And they want to do it, so I'm going to go through all of my. Yes, that's Hobby Lobby. Yep. I'm gonna be going through all my Christmas stuff and seeing what I have that I can use. But that'll give me a reason to go early Christmas fabric shopping. I shop Hobby Lobby's 40% off, and then I shop at Joann's too. Most of the quilting fabric I get's from Joann's. And then Michael's just started carrying like a lot of fabric. I think that was like maybe the middle of last year, but I didn't know about it until maybe like September or October. So I found a lot of cute stuff. They have a lot of the like licensed things, so like the Disney stuff or like the Star Wars stuff, which you know, people put in special requests for things like that. But I'm very surprised. And Michael's tends to have a lot of people who don't really care when they're cutting fabric. So I've gone and gotten, you know, a half a yard of fabric and get almost 3/4 of a yard just because they're like, this is wrinkly. I'll just give this to you for free. So it's something to consider. And then I buy a lot of remnants, couldn't think of the word. And that's a good way to get a lot of, you can get like nice chunks of fabric. And I buy stuff in half yard because I can get plenty for like one section of my quilt out of a half a yard. So like I build the quilts, I don't usually have more than 12 of the same square because I like everything to alternate so much. So like a half a yard gets me, I think it's let's see, 18, 19 squares, I think. I have not shopped on Whatnot. I've bought stuff off of, Facebook Marketplace and stuff too, because, people get out of sewing and they're like, hey, I have a huge box of fabric. I've actually had people reach out to me just on Facebook or Instagram that like are local and be like, I haven't touched my sewing stuff in years. You want some of this? You want to see it? Or you just, you want it for free? Just get it out of my house. Whatnot is kind of like, what am I thinking? eBay, kind of, right? It's just like you list the stuff, you put up a price, and then people buy it and you ship it or pick up or whatever. I used to sell stuff on Poshmark forever ago, like clothes. And I know a lot of people use they use that, and then they use like Macari and stuff. Live resellers, yeah. There's all kinds of interesting ways to get fabric, and if you just, branch out and try other stuff, you probably get some pretty good deals. It's a very good suggestion. Oh, yep, ran out of bobbin. All right, where are we? Oh, okay. Well, I think I'm going to hop off of here, but thank you guys for hanging out in my first live stream. I'm definitely going to work on some stuff and do things a little bit differently next time so that we can have like a bigger window to see and have everything set up. So awesome. Thank you guys for the fun conversation and hanging out while we're working on stuff. I definitely want to do this more often. It's so fun. Thanks. You guys have a wonderful evening or morning or wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.